Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today I want to talk a little bit about No Man's Sky. Now this is a title that has been taking a lot of people by storm, and surprisingly enough, it is a title that not a lot of people have actually requested that I talk about in the comments of my videos, which I thought was kind of weird because aren't you all like ridiculously excited about No Man's Sky? I know that I am somewhat excited, probably not as excited as a lot of other people are about this particular title, because it seems that these days a lot of people kind of gravitate towards the how should I put it, the procedurally generated type of video games, because everybody reminds themselves of, we got Minecraft, and Minecraft was a huge hit, so it's definitely going to be something really cool. So let's talk a little bit about No Man's Sky, about the stuff that we know up until this point. Now, one of the things that is actually hard is for me to extrapolate information based on the founder of Hello Games, because the guy seems to be somewhat coy around cameras. He's like, oh, you see, it's like, and he's always like looking down, like a little bit shy, and it's kind of hard to get information out of that guy. At least it definitely seems so. But I did a little bit of look around their website and some look at around a couple of interviews that they've done to kind of get a feel for what it would be like to actually play No Man's Sky. And something that they say is that above everything else, No Man's Sky is essentially a game about exploration and survivability in a procedurally generated world. And this procedurally generated world is also with a sci-fi theme to it. Now, when you look at the videos that they've been showing, a lot of times you seem to just find abandoned spacecrafts all over the place, and you grab the spacecraft, and here I go on my merry way on to explore planets and stuff like that. I get a feeling that on the game itself, it's going to be somewhat different from that. So people shouldn't really expect to just get onto the game and be like, oh, there's a spaceship right here. I'm just going to go off into space now and go up to other planets and stuff like that. At least I get a feeling that it's not going to be that simple. Now, they're talking about also that you're going to have to collect precious resources, and you're going to have to trade those for special suits, like survival suits, like I'm assuming stuff like armor maybe, or suits for space flight or something like that. You're going to have to get resources for those, and then you're going to be able to trade for those, for equipment, essentially, to guarantee your survival in the galaxy. There's going to be combat on planet surface. There's going to be combat in space. And there's even going to be combat underwater. It's definitely shaping up to be very, very interesting. Now, the thing about the title is that it's all going to depend on how reliable the servers of that game are really going to be. Now, there's a couple of people, well, there's probably a lot of people that are assuming with everything that these guys are doing that this is going to be some kind of an MMO or something, which is actually not the case. As a matter of fact, in a website that I've gotten to from their site, I went to the press portion of No Man's Sky or whatever, and there's a bunch of features here for their game. I'm going to read you guys all the features, and the last feature is actually very, very important. So, the features that they have for describing No Man's Sky is a truly open universe. If you can see it, you can go there, you can fly seamlessly from the surface of a planet to another, and every star in the sky is a sun that you can visit. Exploration is seeing things that no one else has ever seen before. Every creature, geological formation, plant, and spaceship is unique. Survive on a dangerous frontier. You are alone and vulnerable and will face threats everywhere, from deep space to thick forests, barren deserts to dark oceans. Built for an epic journey. Collect precious materials and trade them for better spacecraft and upgrades for your suit and equipment. And finally, one of the features that I consider to be a very, very important feature from a standpoint of what your expectations are for this game is parallel universes. Choose to share your discoveries with other players or not. You will never see another player. Let me say that again. You will never see another player, but you could make your mark in their worlds as well as your own. Now, this information could be out of date, because if we go back to an interview that he's done on the PlayStation stage, basically Anthony Marconi asks the guy from Hello Games, I can't remember the guy's name, he asks him like, so, but can I meet up with other players? And he's like, well, you could, but you're probably never really going to, because we're going to put you guys so far away that you're never really going to find each other. And that like has me questioning. So which one is it? Is it the one on the website where you say that you are never going to see another player, or will you be able to see other players? Now, I am leaning towards you're never going to be able to see another player, simply because, I mean, imagine the server load it would take for them to manage not only a shared world for everyone that's playing the game, like we're talking possibilities of millions of people. I mean, just talking about it on the PlayStation 4 universe, there's like, I don't know, how many PlayStations did they sell up until this point? Like 7 million or something. So let's say 1/7 of the population of 1/7 of the population of not the population, 1/7 of the people that bought a PlayStation are interested in playing No Man's Sky, which is a high probability because this is a game that's been getting a lot of hype and a lot of attention. So that would be 1 million people all stuck within the same server. Not going to happen. I just get a feeling that it's not going to happen because you just don't have... I mean, just think of it in MMO terms. Have you ever seen an MMO where you have 1 million people in the same server? I highly doubt it. But anyways, as I was saying, I get a feeling this is essentially going to be like you have a seed, right, which is what is generating the procedurally generated world. And that is a common seed that is shared by essentially anyone. So yes, you can find planets, you can find constellations, you can find galaxies, stuff like that, that no one has ever seen before. And as you discover these things and as they are generated, they're probably sending this information back to their servers. So if anyone else happens to visit that particular location that you were just at, they're going to be seeing the same things that you were seeing because your information was sent onto the server. It's also going to tell them stuff like you were the one who discovered that particular star, planet, constellation, whatever. And not only that, you can also discover other minor things like inside of... they said that the planets are essentially the size of planets. So you can discover stuff like lakes, maybe rock formations, something like that, and it is going to be associated with your gamer tag forever in the universe of No Man's Sky. At least that is one of their selling points. And that is actually really exciting, the fact that you can essentially discover stuff that nobody has ever seen. In one of their videos, they say that every atom is procedural. This means that essentially you can discover a planet which will have like a specific specific type of fauna, specific types of flora that maybe no one has really thought about because it was procedurally generated, and you're going to see for the first time a special species or something like that. And that is definitely exciting. However, it also poses a number of problems because, for one, for you to really get the full experience of this title, you're going to have to play online, because you're going to have to, I mean, if you want your discoveries to show up on everybody's map, I mean, essentially it's going to have to keep sending information to their servers, which will require you to be online. Otherwise, you discover a planet for the first time ahead of everybody else, and nobody's really going to know about it, and kind of defeats the purpose of the game. Now, something else that they were talking about is how you can share information. Now, this is like, let's say, for instance, you find a specific type of resource on a planet, or you find a planet even, and it's like you find a specific life form in that particular planet, and you can then share that information with everyone else, and it's going to show up like on their star map or something and say, hey, there's this type of life form in this planet. So if you're, for whatever reason, if you're looking to see this particular life form, this is where it is. Or if you're looking for this specific resource, this is where it is. This person shared that information. Or you can find that stuff and keep it a secret, kind of to prevent other people from going there. Although I'm not exactly sure how other people are going to affect that. Like if they can go there and get resources from it and then you can't get it anymore. I'm not exactly sure how that is going to work, but it is definitely an interesting thing to speculate about, you know, because supposedly there are no limits. That is what they're selling to us, essentially, is there are no limits in this game. You can lift off, you can go, and you can attack carriers and freighters and stuff like that. And as you destroy those, you will be able to gain rewards and gain resources and gain all kinds of stuff. You're also able to defend them from pirate attacks. You guys will notice that in the in the video presentations, you'll have like AIs flying next to your ship and stuff like that. And he's already clarified during the PlayStation interview that's like, those were AIs, those were not other players. And like I said, I get a feeling that this is going to be a single-player experience, a really cool single-player experience, but still a single-player experience, which I cannot express how much it actually eats away at me a little bit, because definitely something that would be really cool would be for you to explore this planet with friends. Like, one of the coolest things about Minecraft is like building stuff and then showing your friends the stuff that you've built. Like, built a house in a server, this massive house, this really cool looking castle, whatever, and then bring your friends over and it's like, oh, look, and there's this, and there's a trap here, and there's this thing. And it's like, it would make sense that No Man's Sky would kind of work in the same way. It would be cool to take your friends with you. Maybe in between their development cycle or something, they can come up with some kind of way that you can invite your friends to like come to your version of the game and have a look at your world. Not exactly sure if that is going to be possible or not, or how that would even work, but definitely it is a game that has my attention. I'm not like foaming at the mouth to get like, oh my god, I must have No Man's Sky, but it's definitely got my attention. I've definitely been looking at it whenever they talk about the game, and it is a game that I wanted to talk about. It's just I was surprised nobody really requested it, because it is definitely one of the most popular games to talk about at the moment, because people keep like just saying this game blows everybody away because it's got an amazing art style. Let's be honest, the art style of the game pretty much sells it on the art style alone, and then just when you start thinking about the immense possibilities of this title, just like blows your mind. And as I was talking about this, I was reminding myself of something else that he's mentioned, which is death is like every action that you make is permanent. So like if you discover a planet, it's permanently associated with you. If you die, death is permanent, so maybe you lose everything, so it becomes a little bit like a roguelike. It definitely seems interesting, those possibilities where you kind of have to figure out how to do, because imagine you see this big ship and you're like, oh, I'm going to try attack it, and it's like, oh, you just got one-shotted by death laser number 2. Okay, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities there, and there's a lot of possibilities for this title. But I would really like to know you guys' take on it, and your opinions and comments and feedback about No Man's Sky. So make sure to leave those in the comment section, because I'm curious to know what everyone else is thinking about this game. And as per usual, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.